none of these efforts can succeed unless people believe that they can rely on their government to tell them the truth and to do the right thing. We have declassified thousands of government documents, files from the Second World War, the Cold War, President Kennedy's assassination.
I mean, think about that. We're talking about President Kennedy's assassination in 1995. That's how vapid and empty everything he's saying is at its core. But as a politician, boy, he's winging them in. He's winging them in. He's got everything to tell you about it.
These actions are not only consistent with our national security, they are essential to advance our values. So, to me, that's what this is all about. And to all those who represent the families who have been involved in these incidents, let me say to you, I hope you feel that your government has kept its commitment to the American people, to tell the truth and to do the right thing. We discovered soon after I entered office that with the specter of an atomic war looming like Armageddon, far nearer than it does today, the United States government actually did carry out on our citizens experiments involving radiation. That's when I ordered the creation of this committee. Dr. Faden and the others did a superb job. They enlisted many of our nation's most significant and important medical and scientific ethicists. They had to determine first whether experiments conducted or sponsored by our government between 1944 and 1974 met the ethical and scientific standards of that time and of our time. And then they had to see to it that our research today lives up to nothing less than our highest values.
All right. So that again is a lot of padded Johnny nonsense. Okay, that's what that is. It's padded Johnny nonsense. First of all, we're talking about 44 during the World War. Okay? All the way to 74. Now, this is taking place in 95. That means the commission has been around for quite some time. So 20 years unaccounted for on what they're actually telling. They're only telling you pieces of it. Think about how he invoked Kennedy. I mean, my God. And now he's going to pad it for you that we're trying to keep these to ethical standards from then and now. And now he's going to have to admit, hey, maybe some of these things weren't so ethical. Really, Bill? Really, Bill?
And our most deeply held beliefs. From the beginning, it was obvious to me that this energetic committee was prepared to do its part. We declassified thousands of pages of documents. We gave committee members the keys to the government's doors, file cabinets, and safes. For the last year and a half, the only thing that stood between them and the truth were all the late nights and hard work they had to put in. This report I received today is a monumental document in more ways than one.
Look at the size of it. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's a bad joke to these people. Even then, they're just laughing in your face. Look, that thing is phone book size. Phone book size.
But it is a very, very important piece of America's history, and it will shape America's future.
And again, guys, I mean, that's the human radiation experiments. That's not the psychological ones. And that's what they're letting you know about. And that's 74 to 44. It's 2023.
In ways that will make us a more honorable, more successful, and more ethical country. What this committee learned, I would like to review today with a little more detail than Dr. Faden said, because I think it must be engraved on our national memory. Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation.
Hospitals, universities, and military bases. Yes, they did horrific things to unknowing citizens at universities and hospitals without their informed consent. And no one paid the price.
The goal was to understand the effects of radiation exposure on the human body. While most of the tests were ethical by any standards, some were unethical, not only by today's standards, but by the standards of the time in which they were conducted.
Boom. That's where we can end that. We don't have to watch any more. If you want to go watch the next 10 minutes of that crap, you can. It's up there. It's in the public record. But just that admission alone in the phone book size document you're looking at, okay, that should give you a good idea. I see, and the prisons. You're damn right they did it in the prisons. You're damn right they did it in the prisons.
Get the whole story on Red Voice Media Premium using the link below, completely uncensored and ad-free. It's a crazy world out there, and we're facing more uncertainty than our country has faced in a long time, if ever. And the most important advice we can give you and your loved ones is be prepared. Most people don't realize they need something until it's too late. Whether it's a natural disaster, a sustained power outage, political upheaval, or God forbid, war. You need to be prepared. Don't put yourself in that situation. Have food and water on hand to provide for you and your loved ones during the worst of times, and then pray that you never need it. Thankfully, we have just the solution for you. Heaven's Harvest has everything you need to prepare for the unexpected. You get prepared and you support a pro-American Christian company that shares your values at the same time. Everyone wins. And the best news is that you also get discounts on emergency survival foods, heirloom vegetable seed kits, water filtration and storage kits, and loads of other survival resources, such as guides on how to grow and preserve your foods. So get ahead, be prepared, and survive with a company that shares your values. And we have you covered with great discounts. Go to SpendingSwitch.com and get your Heaven's Harvest survival food at a great price. You can find it in the emergency preparedness section. Again, that's SpendingSwitch.com.